I want to tell you one of my favorite writing stories. When I was in college, I was absolutely terrified of anybody reading my work. And I had heard the advice that said, always do that which scares you. And so I signed up for a creative writing class, and I took it with this professor, Professor Alva. And in this class, we would all write short stories. And after we wrote them, we had like a whole conference where we would read each other's stories and we critique them. And the person whose story was being critiqued was not allowed to speak or defend their story. And several people went before me. It wasn't my turn for a couple weeks into the class. And some of the class really tore into these stories. And I felt really terrible for these writers. It was really difficult. And I remember thinking, this is going to happen to me too. My story's going to get just ripped to shreds. And I sat down when it was my turn. I remember my hands were shaking and I pulled out my note paper and I was ready to just diligently and silently take notes and just take the punches. And then my professor started talking. And he said something to the effect of, you can all learn from Mark about character development. And so I sat there and they talked about my story and they went over. It was only supposed to be 20 minutes. They were talking about it for 30, 35 minutes. And it wasn't just like, well, fix this, fix this. It was like they were talking about my characters and why they liked them. And they were analyzing it like it was one of the short stories we had read from published authors. It was just so surreal. And it was one of the moments where I really felt like, hey, I can actually do this. I can be a writer. Do you have a favorite writing memory you would like to share? Leave a comment, stitch, duet, whatever you got to do.